All right. What's up? Good Sunday morning, everybody. Gamecock Chuck here, back. Got another video for you guys. As I am out and about on this beautiful Sunday morning. A little cold outside, a little brisk. I got to bundle up, getting ready to go do something that I haven't done in 25 years. That's right, headed to do something that I haven't done in 25 years. And no, it is not going to an adult establishment, a strip club. I'm done with all that. That's behind me. But some of y'all may or may not know, but I was in the Marine Corps, straight out of high school, went in the Marine Corps. And my job in the Marines was an aircraft mechanic, hydraulics and airframes mechanics. And I worked on both Hueys and Cobra helicopters. Cobras are the attack helicopters, of course, close air support. And a Huey is more of like a bringing in a small amount of troops into a landing zone, drop them off or pick them up. So that's what I did when I was in the Marines. And I live up in the Hickory, North Carolina area, and we have like an aviation museum that we have. And several years ago, they acquired a helicopter that I used to work on when I served. They have it there on static display at the museum, and they want to beautify it, paint it up, get it looking nice and pretty, so they can hang it. That's right, hang it on display in the museum. Dang, that sun's bright. But they want to hang it in the museum. So I volunteered some of my time to go do that. I was supposed to go yesterday, but I had something going on and I wasn't able to go. So today I figured I'd give them my time a little bit, go help them restore it, beautify it, whatever you want to call it, and get that thing ready to be hung whenever they open up I guess they're building a new aviation museum, so they're gonna hang it from the ceiling, make it look pretty cool, like it's actual flying through the air. But they have a lot of other military aircraft that has been donated to the museum. So if anybody's in the Hickory, North Carolina area, stop by the airport and check out the aviation museum. It's pretty cool. I've been a couple times to check it out. But yeah, that's what I'm headed to do this morning. Yesterday was chaos in college football, but before we get there, make sure you guys are hitting that thumbs up to like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, as I do Gamecock college football and basketball content. Subscribe to the channel and get in the comments, let me know your thoughts. But yesterday was freaking pure chaos in college football. And for South Carolina, for some fans, for many fans that are delusional, I guess, that think that South Carolina still has a shot at the playoffs, it was a good day for the Gamecocks, because a lot of the scenarios we needed came to fruition yesterday. A lot of teams, or about 5 teams, I believe it was, 4 or 5 teams got upset that was ahead of South Carolina in the college football playoff rankings. So it was a lot of chaos, a lot of drama, a lot of good games yesterday. Games that I thought wasn't going to be good. I figured they'd be blowouts the other way around, turn into upsets. But it was like I said, it was a good day of college football when I got to watch of it. Auburn last night in 4 overtimes took care of A&M. That was a back and forth matchup throughout the game. I watched some of that. I didn't really watch all of it, but in 4 overtimes they got them 43-41. A&M just couldn't convert there. I guess when you get past the second overtime, you have to go for 2, I believe it is. So in the 4th overtime, A&M wasn't able to connect on their 4th down conversion, and Auburn won in overtime. Everybody stormed the field, of course, at Jordan Hare, and that was a great win for Auburn. Auburn's a bad team, and to me, that's an embarrassing loss to A&M. And I'm glad it happened, but. The second upset last night, another game that a team shouldn't have lost to Oklahoma, and that was Alabama. They got throttled 24-3. So, I mean, that was just a game that, like I said, Oklahoma's not that good this year. They are struggling. They are not a very good football team, especially from an offensive standpoint. I know they got some injuries and things like that, but I mean that was a bad loss for Alabama. Yeah, granted, it was on the road in Norman, Oklahoma, but the Gamecocks went there. We throttled them 31-9 or something like that. So bad loss for Bama. Bad time to lose, I guess you could say, to a team like Oklahoma. Kansas they ain't even playing at home. They're playing at Arrowhead, I guess, Gia Field or whatever it is that the Chiefs play at. So they're not even in there. They're not even on campus. They're not even, playing in their own football stadium. They hosted Colorado yesterday, and they beat them impressively, like 37-21. So great to see Kansas get that win over Colorado, bring them back down to earth a little bit. They are one of the hottest football teams out there in college football, and I wasn't surprised. Honestly, I'm not surprised at the upset there. I would have picked Kansas to win that game anyway. And I think I may have picked that game. Was that game on the Cowboys Pick'em Challenge? I can't remember, but I think I did pick Kansas if it was, because I thought Kansas was is a much better team than what their record indicated. They got playmakers all over the field, but they just had some bad luck this year. The next upset, BYU, the old bicycle school out there in Utah, they got upset by Arizona State. It was a close game, back and forth. Arizona State had a good lead, and BYU fought back and got within striking distance. But Arizona State put it away down the stretch, and actually they prematurely celebrated too early. The fans rushed the field, and because I think it was bad clock management by Arizona State. Actually, it was like 4th and goal or something, and they kept taking, or like, they were like their 1st and goal, and they kept taking knees and going backwards, trying to run out the clock because BYU had timeout, a couple timeouts, I believe it was. And on 4th and goal, I guess they threw up a Hail Mary, kind of like up in the air out of bounds or something, and I guess trying to run off like the last 7 seconds, I believe it was, and the ball actually, I guess by the time it landed out of bounds or whatever, there's still 1 second on the clock. So little mismanagement of the clock, and with that 1 second, it gave BYU an opportunity, because it was their ball. It was turnover on downs, and they had pretty decent field position. I mean, it was pretty close to midfield, I believe it was. I can't remember exactly, but they had they had a good shot at throwing it to the end zone, but it just didn't reach it. The Hail Mary fell about 2 yards short of the end zone. The dude caught it, but he was about 1 or 2 yards short of the end zone. He was tackled in the field of play before he got across the line. So, BYU was probably about 2 yards, about 1 or 2 yards from pulling off the miracle win against Arizona State on the road. Florida, another team that was struggling this year. A lot of talks about Billy Napier getting fired mid-season, but they actually have impressed a lot of people. They won 6 games this year, bowl eligible with that win yesterday. And Billy's staying around for another year, according to was that Scott Strickland, I think it is. He put out a letter a couple weeks ago saying they was keeping Billy Napier. So, hats off to Florida for upsetting Ole Miss yesterday. Was it 24-17? Ole Miss had opportunities at the end of the game, but Jackson Dart just threw about 1 or 2 too many picks yesterday. So wasn't able to take care of the football and drive it down the field to tie the game, to take it to overtime. And Florida got out of there at home with an upset win over a top 10 Ole Miss team. And then the last one really wasn't an upset, but Ohio State actually proved that Indiana was a fraud yesterday as far as their rankings and everything, because they really hadn't played a quality team this year so far. I think they only played, one team prior to yesterday, one team with a record over 500. But Ohio State throttled them, man, 38-15. I watched most of that game because I was actually rooting for Indiana. I was actually hoping Indiana would have a good game and prove everybody wrong and beat Ohio State. That's one team I just can't pull for Ohio State, man. Ryan Day just gets under my skin, man. So, Ohio State proved that Indiana was a fraud, and they blew them out yesterday at home, 38-15. So a lot of chaos ahead of South Carolina in the college football playoff rankings. Is the door still open for a playoff shot? Yeah. How far open it is, I mean, we still got a lot of stuff that needs to happen, or several things that need to happen. I believe I read somewhere last night was it Brad Crawford or somebody put something out saying that South Carolina needs Syracuse to beat Miami next weekend, which I highly doubt that happens. Who else did he say? We need to pull for Syracuse. Was it Texas? Texas was one, I believe it was. And somebody else. There's like 2 or 3 different scenarios that South Carolina needs to happen for an opportunity, for a better opportunity to maybe, depending on what the college football playoff selection committee thinks of the Gamecocks. If we can handle business against Clemson next Saturday on the road in Death Valley, I think I haven't seen no opening lines today, but the last one I saw, I guess yesterday or day before yesterday, somebody put it out. It was like 3.5-point underdog to Clemson. So if we can go on the road and take care of Clemson, I say just let everything work itself out, and we'll see. We'll see where we land in the college football playoffs, and or what bowl game or what rankings we get. And like I said, just let it all shake out. I mean, we screwed the pooch in a couple of games. Losing to Alabama on the road in a close game. That hurt us, and also losing at home after we had a good lead on LSU, that hurt us quite a bit as well. I'm not going to talk about the referees because there's a lot of stuff South Carolina did in that football game that hurt themselves, that basically took them out of that game. Okay, so I know there's a lot of Gamecock fans still whining and crying about the officiating. I'm not doing that kind of mess. It was a lot of South Carolina's doing that kept him out of that game from winning that game, in my opinion. So, but yeah, chaos yesterday. A lot of good games. South Carolina, of course, took care of Wofford 56-12. Got off to a slow start, a sluggish start, I guess you could say. But they actually turned it on about the mid-second quarter, and just took control of that game and ran away with it. A lot of people got into play yesterday. A lot of the seniors got in the game. Actually, early on, a lot of the seniors got on the field and got involved in the game. Kudos to Coach Beamer for doing that, making these young men, go out on a positive note at South Carolina. But yeah, we took care of business there, 56-12. Clemson, they took care of the Citadel. What was it, 51-14 or something like that? Gave up a lot of rushing yards to the Citadel. So maybe that's a positive for the Gamecocks going forward this Saturday. Who knows? Gave up a lot of yards, I believe. I can't remember how much it was. Over 300 yards, I believe it was, to the Citadel. So it was a lot. But I had a Clemson subscriber on my YouTube on my live stream yesterday, talking about how the Citadel was gashing them for big runs and stuff. So some positive there for the Gamecocks headed into this upcoming weekend matchup with the Tigers. So yeah, I think I've rambled on enough. A lot of chaos yesterday. Good day in college football. I'm gonna go do this thing, help beautify this Cobra helicopter, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Gamecock Chuck, I'll see you guys in the next one.